Hello everyone, this is video for Introduction to Programming course with topics function, list and sequences. Our team members are Trần Khánh Thành, Trần Hoàng Nam, Phạm Việt Anh, Nguyễn Mậu Hiếu, and Nguyễn Trọng Nhân. Okay, let's get started.
In Python, we often need to store more than one value in a single place. Instead of making one variable for per item, wouldn't it be nicer to group them together? So that's what a list is. You can think of it as a basket that can hold multiple variables. For list, there are some certain features. One of the most important one is that it is mutable, which means that you can edit the element inside the list in comparison to tuple, which the list will be fixed and you can change the values inside them. Also, it is nestable, which means inside a list you can contain another list. So inside a list you can perform some basic slicings. The syntax includes the start index, the end index, and the step. For example, in slice 1 here, you have the start index, which is 1, and the end index 4. The result will print out the value at the index 1, 2, 3. If you want to take an X amount of step, you can use two colons and the number of steps in the end. For example, here, if you want to reverse a list, you will take the step p minus 1 and it will print out the list in reverse. Also, if you want to copy a list, you would just need a single colon to print out the exact list. Okay, so now that we have done with the basics of list in Python, let's move on to the live coding session. So as we know, list contains a square brackets. Inside we have different elements which can contain many different data types like strings, numbers, and also boolean. And these values will be ordered and they can be mutable, which means that you can change the value inside them. And it can also be nestable. You can add a list inside a list. So for this example only, I will be working on a list which contains of strings. Here it contains foods. I'll walk you guys through some basics things that you can do with the list. One of the most useful things you can do is to append. Append is basically you add another element, another value at the end of the list. Here I want to add another food. Let's add name and print out the list to see. As you can see, name has been added and is at the end of the list. So just like append, we have another command which is pop. Pop, if you don't assign a index for this, it will automatically choose the value at the end. Here, you see, name is gone. Or you can provide an index, a number that you want to remove. So if I want to remove me, which will be the index 2, let's see how it works. See, Amy is gone. So similar to pop, we have remove in list, which work similarly. So we're gonna remove fur. Fur is gone. And to check the length of a list in Python, you simply use len foot, just like that. And you see it's 4. Now in the list, you also have more cool things to do. That is, you can. Oh, by the way, if you want to see these square brackets and comma, if you don't want that, you can use a star here and it will print the list without the brackets and the comma. Yeah. So let's move on. We also have, it can also be mutable, which means if I want to change the value, for example, if I want to change comma here, I can add the index of that and change that to another value. Let's try that to another type of food. We can say that in C, curve is gone. Now in pathing list, you can also do some other cool things. You can sort the values inside. Let's do that. What this will do is that it will sort the list alphabetically. So we'll see. See, this start with B, C, P, X, which is the alphabet order. We can also print the list in reverse. To do that, just use reverse. See, it's reverse. Um, we can also, you know, insert. We'll insert like this. The first parameter will be the index of the thing that you want to add. For example, I want to add between phở and bánh mì here, and it will be one to number two. I want to add a bánh xèo, for example. See, bánh xèo has been added between phở and bánh mì. In list, you can perform slicing just like string, and it is also done similarly. So you start with the start index, end index, and the steps. So this is the format. Say you wanna start from zero, then you don't need to type it, and you want to take, say you want from one to three. You'll, you'll print the list because this list next to the list to two. You have to put print here. See, you print for. If you want to print the list in reverse, you can use this. You'll print the list in reverse, just like the reverse thing that we just finished. And you want to produce a copy, just use a single column. The exact same thing will print out. Also, also you can find the index of a certain value. For example, I want to find where soy is in this list. We'll find index and soy here. Let's see, let's print out the index of this. It should print out 3. Here we got 3, which is the exact value that we are expecting. Also, we can concatenate and add two strings together. Let's make another list of Western foods. Let's add some values inside. There are two ways that you can do this. You can either do this by doing this manually by using the plus. See, it will print out the exact concatenated list. Or you can use extend, which will look like this. You extend the food list with the Western food list. I think there are some bugs. So let me fix this. Okay, so I made a mistake here, small mistake here. You don't print here, but this will be extended and you print the original list of foods. See, it will print out the two lists when added together. Now we can have a small look at the next list, which is you just add another list inside the list that you have. Say we have two more foods here. Let's say we have bánh cuốn and chả. Here in the list, you will have the index of 4. This will be 4. So we call foods 4. See, you got this. So to call the element inside the nested list, you just do it normally. Inside this nested list, Bangkok will have the index 0 and Buncha will have the index 1. So just type that in. 0 should be now Bangkok. Similarly for Buncha, should be 1. Yeah. So that's it for the live coding session. Thanks for listening, and I hope that you have got the understanding of this.
Summarize list and sequence. It's like the order data collection with key concepts like order, store. It can store different type of data. It's immutable, means it can modify it and support indexing and slicing. For example, this is a list with different data types, and we can have common data operations like accessing, adding use append functions, or slicing here. Functions in Python. In Python, functions is a reusable block of code that can reuse and perform a specific task. The basics of function have def keyword, function length, parameters, and statement inside it. To define functions, we can use def syntax here, function length, parentheses, parameters here, and below is the indented code blocks. That means it will be indented by a tab. So in Python, you can think functions is reusable code block that you can use in your different parts of your code and also in other files if you import. The first type of functions is built-in functions. This is a part of Python standard library and you can be used without importing anything. So the first thing is I will the function's input to get the my length, and then I will print it use print built-in function. I can get the length of bytes. You can see when I click to def length, it's jumped to 5 built-in byte that define many built-in functions in Python, right? I can run and input my length. So you can see I get input tank is print hello, length of my length, type of length is string, and the ID that store this variable. So to define your own functions, you can use keyword def, function name, parentheses, and the parameter here. You can use multiple parameters of just one or loadings. Below it is the indent block. You can see it has 1, 2, 3, 4 dots here. It's like the space. You need to use 4 space or 1 tab to make it. I will get the first functions called grade parentheses, and it has parameter in length, a colon, and inside functions you can use keyword pass here to map the functions. It means you will define it before, but if you not have keyword pass, if you write a row that the functions is not complete. Okay. In this example, you have the restaurant and you want when the user come in, it will display hello, the user name, welcome to my restaurant. But if you use the block code like this, you must code it many times, and it's like not effective. And if you want to turn like I don't welcome to my restaurant, it's like have good morning, for example. You need to train in all things. You need to train for Bob, for Charlie, or some things. This means your program is not effective and needs many things to do to fix if you want to change something. So with this, we use the functions called read, parameter, length, and a print. This means when I can run, it's print the all. Hello, well, Alice, Bob, Charlie, welcome to Python. And when I change this to welcome to my restaurant. Okay, welcome to my restaurant. I can rerun. You can see it have turned on to my restaurant. It is the feature of functions that when you change in on things, all of things you call these functions is change. It's very effective when you make the program. So with this example, I have the functions calculate price that have three parameters: length, width, and price per one. You can see the doc string in here. It describes the basic information about functions, what it does, the arguments, the returns, right? So you can see in calculate price functions, I have calculate area functions. This means you can write functions inside others. Let's go less the functions, right? And I can run the program to get the exact value here. Okay. So the one thing you must concentrate is the return statement. You can see the functions will take the input, process, and return you the output. But if you not use the return statement in this function, you just use print, it will not return any values. I can run, and you can see that it's result in length, because when you call the result here, it get the value from add function, but add functions does not have return statement, so its default is length. To make it correct, I can use this. In this, we use return statement a plus b, and when you run the program, you can see it returns the exactly result as you assign the variable result, and the value from function add is 3 plus 4 is 7. One thing you must focus on is the variable scope. When you create the variable x and you assign value 10 inside of functions, it's called local variables, and it's just used inside the function. And you can see when you try to print this variable x outside, you can see the ed will mark as is not undefined, because the scope of it just inside the functions. I can run the program. You see name x is not defined, right? So if you want to solve it, you can move it from this to outside. And you can see when I move x variable outside the functions can use it, because each functions can use variable outside. Okay, I can run. So if you want to make the two, I will have two variable x here. I can run the program, and you can see the x inside the cell number function is totally different with variable x outside, right? So if you want to make the x in cell number function can override the x outside, you can use keyword global x in here, right? So I can run the program, and you can see the global x have override the x equal 5 outside it. It's called the global keyword. But in reality, you must reduce use it, because it can create many bugs that very hard to fix. So the next part is argument. I have the functions order pizza here, and it has some parameters like side, topping, crust, extra cheese, just allowed, and not for triggered. And you can see I can order the pizza have large, and parallelly I can run. it will have the result is outer side. You can see side in the first is large topping pepperoni crust. You can see I don't put any value for crust, but it have the default argument is regular, so it also have the regular value here. HRGs also have the default values is false, and not also have default values is zero string in here. Okay, so if I want to have a, you can see keyword argument. Okay, keyword argument. You can order pizza function in here. I want to have size is just medium. Topping is pineapple. Okay, pineapple. The crust, I think heat and extra cheese. I want to choose. Okay, I will run the functions. All the pizza have argument pass as a size. Okay, we can fix size. X pineapple crust topping size. You can see that it has arrow. It has some position only arguments but keyword argument size. So to fix this, we can remove the keyword argument here and just use, and I can rerun. Yes, we get the result because we have the dash here, which means it must be passed by position, not by length or keyword argument in here. Okay. For next example, I will use default arguments. I just order the pizza uh, with a size small and have cheese. Cheese like this. Okay, I can run. It still use this, and because all of this argument below also have the default value. Okay. Other type of functions that very useful in Python is lambda functions. It's a anonymous functions that define online. Okay, I can define the lambda. I will define the lambda functions to calculate the square lambda x colon x square 2, and when I print it, I will put it the value of 5 and run. You can see the value is 25, which means 5 square 2. Okay, so you can compare it with the function f square x and return x square. These functions and this lambda function have the same result, and which means you can use it in many times that require small one-line functions. And also, it can have a condition expressed in lambda functions. I can see this is the functions to check if this number is even or odd. Is lambda. You can see the result here. The lambdas is very useful when you want to create something very fast and use it in many use cases. Lambdas also have some advanced features that you can. So the summary, we can see that a function is a block of code that can reusable, take input and return output, organize, and also for a simple function you can have like this. The functions work like a machine, take the input, process, and get the output here. Okay, hi everyone. I have a funny experiment here. I have a roll dice game. It have 1, 2, and 3 dice that use random dot running functions to random number from 1 to 6 layer dice. Then I will calculate sum of 1, 2, 3 dice. If the sum larger than 10, it is die, and if lesser or equal than 10, it is xỉu. Okay, let's try. Yes. What do you think if I can predict the result? I predict the first attempt is xỉu, or the total result is less than 10. Okay, it's xỉu. The second is tài. Tài. Okay. The third is xỉu. The fourth is tài. I can predict it. Oh, it's also tài. Tài. Xỉu. Okay. So if I rerun, what do you think the result is? Xỉu, tài, xỉu, tài, tài. It's the same with the first time I ran. So what do you think? Because it is random, why the result is the same? Okay, this is because I use random.sys functions. When in here, I initial state of seed, and the random functions will based on this sys to calculate to make the random. Right? It seems not randomly, but yes, it's how it works. And by config the seed with the fixed value, I can easily make the result is the same what I how many times I try, because it's based on this value. Okay. It's a funny experiment to show that you should not use many games online with you lost your money. Okay. Goodbye. Thank you very much for watching our videos about functions and lists. We value your feedback, and if you have some idea or any feedback, please send it to me. This video is created by our teams. Thank you very much. Goodbye. Happy coding, bro.